Hey guys, what I'd like to show you today is how you can control external hardware effects processors like the Eventide H9 or a rack mount effects processor, or this could even be used to control synthesizer parameters or DMX lighting for that matter if you're using MIDI controlled for that. Today we have, of course, the Eventide H9 and its display is our iPad mini here. As you saw there in the brief intro, we had all these parameters dancing around on the screen. So I'm going to show you how we can do that and some of the fun stuff that can be done with this kind of trick here. What we're going to do, let's just go ahead and load up a new set, and we're going to change it to MIDI. And we're going to take channel number, we got on channel number 1. The Eventide is set to channel number 1, so you're going to want to make sure that your hardware device is set to the MIDI channel that we're going to use. We're just going to use one MIDI channel on this example for one device, but if you had devices daisy chained or with a through box or distributor, you could control multiple effects processors simultaneously with this example. And then we just push down on the gold knob that we want to assign to the MIDI controller. And with the Eventide, it's nice because it'll let you assign these knobs. If your effects processor won't let you do that, then what you need to do is you need to look at the MIDI implementation chart for your unit, and it will tell you what continuous controller number is assigned to each parameter. So I've had these already set. There's 10 knobs here, 1 through 10, and then you can actually assign the active/bypass button, and so I have that assigned to a controller as well. So we're just going to tap down on here, and then we're going to select continuous controller number 1. I'm going to go back to the song, and we're going to keep doing this over and over again. We're going to select a new track, we're going to select MIDI, but now it automatically puts us on channel 2. We want to go back to 1. This is one of the neat things the Deluge does, is it allows you to have 1A, 1B, 1C, and keep that distinction there. Hold down, and we're going to assign this to controller number 2. So now we've got a track with the wet mix, we've got delay mix. Now we're going to keep going. We're going to go MIDI, we're going to make that 1B, hold it down, make that controller number 3. You see what we're doing here, so on and so forth. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a template that has each knob on its own track. And maybe you're asking why I'm not setting up one track and assigning. You can assign these knobs and keep paging through and have every continuous controller on one track. And you'll see why here in a second, but it's going to allow us to part mute our automation. So I'm just going to load up my template here, which I have saved on number 9. If we click on here, I just have a audio example here, but if we click here, we'll see that I have channel number 1, continuous controller, so on and so forth. So I have all 10 knobs assigned on a preset, and that's nice because you can just call that up at any time you want to automate that specific unit. It doesn't require any setting up. So what we're going to do is we'll play our little audio example here, and just to double check here, that's the audio example. Here's continuous controller number 1. You see that that's on here. Now if you see I tweak that, you'll start to see the wet mix move here, and of course on the thing. Now we can do as simple as just hitting record, and now we can record that automation. And now you can see our automation is moving. What you can also do is, if you've seen my previous video about parameter locks, or silent parameter locks is what the video was called, you can do the same thing, which is helpful for stuff like, let's actually go over to this delay A, which is the beat divisions. What we can do here is, because we have, instead of a continuous value, different values within the range are going to represent different beat divisions. So we'll make it like a dotted quarter note here, and then we can come over here and make it a 16th. You'll see it, or I guess it landed on 32nd. You're not hearing it a lot yet, But you get the idea. So we can just kind of build up by going to the song and selecting different channels. We can start to automate, or we can do it in real time like I was saying before here. And now we're tweaking the feedback level. Just opens up a lot of different possibilities for sound design, or there's all kinds of stuff you could do with it. Here's just what I went when I went a little crazy, and I just had every parameter going at the same time. So you can see the knobs just dancing all over the place. And what's neat about this, like I was saying earlier, going into putting every CC on a different channel allows you, now that you're in song mode, I can mute these different movements, and you'll see that the knobs have stopped for those channels. And I wasn't sure at first if this would work, but what's also kind of neat is it'll actually work in arrangement mode. So now that you've had these movements planned out, you actually can arrange the knob movements. So you see I have nothing, you'll see these will gradually come in and start moving with the parts, which is really cool. You could have this running your effects for a whole song. You know, even if you were a guitar player and you were using this as a guitar effects unit, you could have it synced up with your song and having it control your effects changes and movements throughout the song. You could do this with a synthesizer and have all this be continuous control information for your synth parameters and controlling a hardware synth. Maybe you're a keyboardist and you want to have those movements, but you don't want to control them yourself during the show. And you know, the possibilities are really endless, because like I said, you could use it with lights. You could use it with any other thing like that. You could set up different clip lengths for each one of the different automation lanes that you have there, and kind of get like a polyrhythmic style of like morphine, where you're not having the same movement over just like 2 bars, but maybe one is 4 bars long with a certain movement, and so on and so forth. So hope you guys enjoyed the idea. If you try it out, leave me a comment below. If you have any other ideas that are related to it, I'd love to hear. I just want to learn more from the community out there. And if you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe, and hope to see you soon. Have a great day.